Imagine competing with someone who wasn't even competing with you. That was Chi-Chi's greatest mistake. People always say that pride comes before a fall, but Chi-Chi never believed it. To her, it was just one of those empty proverbs older people used to scare younger ones with. Chi-Chi is a typical example of black beauty, a confident and stylish figure with a deep, rich brown skin tone and a fit, toned, and slender body type. Her hair is striking, a very voluminous, large, and beautifully defined coil curl style, complementing her large, expressive dark eyes. Chi-Chi never imagined that her life would drift so far from the girl she used to be. When she first got into school, until the day she used her own hands to push away the supposed destiny helpers or connections, as some would say, that God has sent to elevate her life. Chi-Chi was born into poverty, a wooden spoon background, 2 younger siblings depending on her, and parents who struggled every single day to put food on the table. She promised herself that one day, she would be rich enough to pull her family out of that life. The day she received her admission letter from one of the most prestigious private universities in Lagos, Lasian Palace University, on scholarship to study medicine, she screamed, danced, cried, rolled on the ground. The entire compound celebrated with her. It was the biggest blessing her family had ever received. Her parents knew life in a private university would not be easy, even on scholarship. They borrowed money, begged from relatives, sold properties, and did the impossible just to prepare her. On the day before she left, they sat her down with tears in their eyes. Her mother handed her a package, telling her to be humble, respectful, kind, and focused. Inside the package was a brand new iPhone 12 Pro Max, an iPad, and 2 million Nigerian nairas cash. Chi-Chi cried uncontrollably. Her father gently confessed that he sold 2 of his lands to make sure she would never feel inferior among her peers. Her mother begged her to stay focused and make them proud, reminding her of where she came from. On her knees, hugging them tightly, Chi-Chi swore she would never disappoint them. But everything changed the moment she stepped into her new dorm. Her first roommate, Ella, was beautiful, friendly, and surprisingly humble despite coming from a wealthy family. They bonded easily. Later that day, the third girl walked in, Tessie, caramel-skinned, breathtaking, elegant, pushing 2 luxury pink boxes with her name boldly printed on them. She carried the latest iPhone 17, latest iPad, latest Apple Watch, and looked like someone who was born into royalty. When they introduced themselves, Ella mentioned she was the daughter of a high-ranking barrister and a medical doctor. Tessie mentioned that her parents were okay but preferred to keep their achievements private. When it was Chi-Chi's turn, anxiety filled her chest. Looking at the fine girls in front of her, she felt small. Without planning to, she lied that she was the daughter of a senator, and that her mother was a gold and diamond merchant. Ella laughed excitedly and called her humble for not showing off her mother's diamonds. Chi-Chi forced a smile, and her first lie became the foundation of many more. As days passed, the 3 grew close. They went to lectures together, ate together, studied together. But deep down, Chi-Chi's insecurity multiplied. She admired Tessie, but at the same time, she envied her deeply. Tessie was effortlessly beautiful, effortlessly elegant, effortlessly composed. She had everything Chi-Chi wished she had: money, peace, confidence, a soft upbringing, and quiet grace. Tessie never bragged, never boasted, never made anyone feel smaller. That humility irritated Chi-Chi the most. Instead of becoming inspired by her, Chi-Chi became competitive. Whenever Tessie bought something, Chi-Chi bought the same. Whether it was perfumes, skincare, wigs, clothes, food, Chi-Chi copied it. Even things she didn't need. Tessie noticed but never cared. That made Chi-Chi even angrier. Soon, the 2 million Nigerian nairas finished. The phone and iPad lost their meaning. Her parents' sacrifices vanished into vanity and competition. Out of desperation, Chi-Chi searched for a shortcut to maintain the lifestyle she was faking. That was when she met Jenny. Jenny was the hottest girl on campus, the girl everyone whispered about. Soft life, money, power, expensive apartment, rich men. Rumors said wealthy men funded her life. Chi-Chi went to her apartment secretly. Jenny looked at her and laughed softly. I heard you're looking for me, she said with a smirk. Chi-Chi begged for help. She wanted money. She wanted the soft life. She wanted to maintain the image she had created. When Chi-Chi tried lying that her father stopped sending money, Jenny cut her off sharply. A village girl will always betray herself, she said coldly. I don't have time for lies. Chi-Chi lowered her head in shame and begged again. Jenny finally agreed but made the rules very clear. She would connect Chi-Chi to rich men old or young, and Jenny would take 60% of the money. Blind with desperation and pride, Chi-Chi agreed. That night, her life changed forever. Her first client was a wealthy older man staying in a penthouse in Ikoyi. Jenny dressed her in a wine silk dress, expensive perfume, and gold anklet. The money they gave her after the encounter was the largest she had ever held. She hated what she had done, but the money silenced her conscience. From that day, she became one of Jenny's girls. And the double life began. Chi-Chi continued tagging Ella and Tessie in her photo shoots, club outings, expensive restaurants, soft life trips, even though they spent most of their time in the library preparing for their medical exams. They didn't know what she was doing. They didn't even suspect it. They only noticed she stopped going to lectures. Whenever they asked how she would catch up, Chi-Chi would laugh proudly and say, "My parents will handle it." Tessie, always gentle, would hold her hand and say, "Medicine is not like other courses. This is our passion. We came here to prove that we can stand on our own. Let's do this together." But instead of feeling corrected, Chi-Chi felt insulted. In her mind, she screamed, "Who does she think she is? Why does she talk like her life is perfect? Why does she act like she understands everything?" Anger, jealousy, and competition blinded her completely. Her grades dropped. Then dropped again. Until her GPA crashed beyond repair.